In the race to have the best phones, Google has heavily leaned on AI features to help distinguish the last two generations of Pixel phones from everything else. So far, that bet has paid off big time as the company's set of AI features have been able to stave off its closest competitors in Galaxy AI and Apple Intelligence. For its 10th generation models, the story is no different as the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL are exemplified by AI assistants. I have been able to spend some time with them along with the Pixel 10 to get a feel for what these two Pro phones bring to the table. On paper, the hardware doesn't appear to gain a whole lot of upgrades over last year's model, but don't let that fool you because I started off feeling underwhelmed, only to realize there is more to them when you look deeper. In my Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL hands-on, you will find out exactly what makes them special. There's a little bit of a shakeup with their pricing, one that I can't say for sure if it's good or bad. The Pixel 10 Pro is priced at $999 US with 16 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Higher storage options are available at 256 GB, 512 GB and 1 TB, which are priced at $1,099 US, $1,219 US and $1,499 US respectively. This pricing structure is identical to the current Pixel 9 Pro, so no surprises here. However, the surprise comes in the form of the price hike with the Pixel 10 Pro XL. That's because the starting price is now $1,199 US, which is an increase $100 over the Pixel 9 Pro XL's cost. I'm not complaining because it's a price hike nonetheless, but now it's accompanied by 256 GB of storage, which is double the amount offered with the cheapest Pixel 9 Pro XL. I suppose this is okay given how its main rivals, the Galaxy S25 Ultra and iPhone 16 Pro Max, both start off with 256 GB of storage. In terms of color options, you get your standard black and white options, porcelain and obsidian. If you want color, then you will have your choice between moonstone and jade. Between them, I prefer moonstone because it reminds me of the bay color of the Pixel 8 Pro, whereas jade doesn't have as much color saturation as I'd want. Pre-orders for the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL are available right now with full retail availability beginning on August 28. Not much has changed with either phone since they recycle the same design as their predecessors, and that's not a bad thing either. I'm a fan of smaller phones, so I naturally gravitate towards the Pixel 10 Pro. No matter your size preference, both phones continue to feel solidity built and premium. That's because they employ spacecraft-grade aluminum frame, polished edges, and Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. On the back is the classic matte finish. This year's color options are a bit subdued in my opinion, seeing that the new colors, Jade and Moonstone, aren't as polarizing as prior colors. Still, there's no compromise with their constructions since they feature IP68 ratings. I really don't understand why Google continues to keep the temperature sensor, which is situated on the back near the LED flash. I suppose if there is a room and there is no major price hikes, it's one of those let's just throw it in features. If you look at the display specs of both phones, they are familiar because they are no different from last year's models. So that's a 6.3-inch Super AQI display for the Pixel 10 Pro and a 6.8-inch one for the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Indoors, they look amazing and have all the hallmark qualities that OLED screens offer. What I am really interested is in how bright either phone can get because the Pixel 9 Pro XL still has the record for the brightest screen we have been ever tested by reaching 2469 nits. Google only needs to beat itself, so it would be only setting the bar higher for everyone else. Google has it rated for a peak brightness of 3300 nits, but I just hope it can exceed the 1769 nits that the Pixel 9 reached. I spent more time checking out the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL cameras during my hands-on time. First of all, you should know that the triple camera system on both phones are identical to one another. So that's a 50 megapixel main shooter, 48 megapixel ultra-wide, 48 megapixel telephoto with 5x optical zoom, and a 42 megapixel selfie. Secondly, the camera specs are identical to last year's phones. It would have been nice to get some new hardware upgrades, but that means a lot is going to hinge on new processing algorithms to get more out of them. Google mentions there's improved low light capabilities with both phones, including shooting and video with their updated video boost features, but I'll be the judge of that once they are properly tested. The most appealing aspects of the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL cameras is how they'll heavily lean on more AI features. I got to try many of them and let me tell you, they are impressive. Google Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL adds ProRes Zoom. This one is exclusive to the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL, which uses AI to process photos using generative AI models to enhance them. From the other side of the room, I used the 48 megapixel 5x telephoto zoom camera with the Pixel 10 Pro XL to capture an Android figurine that looked super soft and noisy through the camera app, but ProRes Zoom kicks in to process the image and adds more detail to the shot. The side-by-side comparison looks impressive as the ProRes Zoom enhanced shot came out substantially better. I also briefly tried out Camera Coach, which is a Gemini-powered feature that guides me to take better photos through on-screen instructions through the camera app. This one's promising because it can make you take better photos, but I'm curious to see how well it works with more situations. As much as I love Best take on Pixel, the issue I have with it is that I have to constantly take several photos to make it effective at swiping face out. Well, I'm thrilled that Google solves the problem with Auto Best Take, which now works with only a single capture. That's because it's using AI to analyze faces to generate options I can switch out after taking the shot. I tried it out with the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, but it works just the same on the rest of the Pixel 10 lineup. While ProRes Zoom is impressive, I think Edit with Ask Photos will be more of a revolutionary feature. It takes the generative AI capabilities of its Reimagine feature, but now makes it much easier to edit photos by just typing in your descriptions. I was able to transform my collared shirt into a plaid blazer, which I think looked convincing. There is more pressure than ever before with the Tensor G5 that's powering both phones. This is because prior Tensor chips have underperformed compared to its rivals, but this TSMC made chip is made using a 3nm manufacturing process, which Google says offers 60% better TPU performance and 34% faster CPU performance. So far, the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL feel super responsive, just navigating around the interface. Apps open fast and every actions feel instant, but this isn't new since all Pixels I have reviewed have the same qualities. The area where Google's Tensor chips underperformed have been around benchmark scores, which still have a lot of importance. One area that significantly underperformed on past Tensor chips is GPU performance, so I am crossing my fingers that the G5 makes bigger gains around it. While I am confident that we'll get better power efficiency out of the Tensor G5, Google is packing a larger sized batteries in its new devices, a 4870 mAh cell in the Pixel 10 Pro and an even larger 5200 mAh in the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Both of these capacities are larger than their predecessors, which makes me more optimistic that they will offer bigger improvements with their battery life. Rumors about Google offering QI2 support for its Pixel phones have been around forever, but it's finally a reality with the Pixel 10 series thanks to PixelSnap. There are now magnets embedded into the Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL that allow them to work with new accessories, including a new PixelSnap charger with stand for wireless charging. I have even attached my MagSafe wallet to the back of the Pixel 10 Pro and it works like a charm, so I'm stoked about this edition. Speaking of wireless charging, PixelSnap offers QI2 wireless charging support up to 15 watt with the Pixel 10 Pro and an even faster 25 watt wireless charging speed with QI 2.2 support for the Pixel 10 Pro XL. If you want the fastest charging times, the Pixel 10 Pro XL supports 45 watt wire charging while the 10 Pro offers a less impressive 30 watt.